Okay guys, warm welcome back to the forensic detailing channel. This is an interesting one. Trying to conduct a test here. So in one trigger sprayer we have Phat Neut, in another we have a caustic snow foam, in another we've got another rinseless wash, another we've got a standard mild pH neutral snow foam pre-wash. All of these products here can be used to pre-wash the car. So what we're going to do is a similar thing to what Bilt Hamber did in that little video they did, which is quite ingenious. So we're inspired or copying the method, but we're going to use this as our tube to spray it all out. Let's just, before we start, conditions, it's 17.3 degrees, 91%, 54% humidity, is it? Or now, no, 36, 91, I don't know, 54, whatever. It's not hot in here. On this car, we have a lovely layer of dirt film. The best place to demo it is on this glass, which is still a car, but we might use this back panel. We might try it on these back panels of paintwork as well. This car's not been washed for years, maybe, and it has no protection. It's just a car. Just a couple of things. So all of these flasks were cleaned out with water and triggers run through with water. Tap water has been used, not DI water. Application ratios, this we're using at 30 ml to a litre, Phat Neut. The caustic thing, I was going to use it at 1 to 33 as well, but it's slightly outside of manufacturer ratio. So I'm going 1 to 50, which is 2%, so 20 ml. The normal snow foam, again, 1 to 50, 20 ml. And the other rinseless, 1 to 64, which is 16 ml. It's not a pound for pound comparison, but if I do it pound for pound, I'm outside of the usage ratios that are recommended for each of these products. So it's yeah, it might, I'd like to do it again with all the same ratios, but that information is probably for my benefit because you're using products not as described. So we're going to go with that. All the sprayers have been tightened to the full position and turned 180 so that we have a sort of consistent fan out, so that we've not got any on like stream, if you know what I mean. They're all should be spraying out, which is important because we're going to be spraying down that tube. So we want to, basically we want to wet out the circle. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is take this camera off of here, which is going to be horrible, and I'm going to mount it in here. Once the products have been allowed to dwell, so what we'll do is we'll put Phat Neut on and we'll let that dry off for 10 minutes. So it'll go 5 minutes wet and it will dry off. Then at 10 minutes it should be dry. Then we'll put Phat Neut on wet, and the other three products all on wet, and we'll leave those other three products for between 4 and 5 minutes, and then we'll rinse everything off of the panel with a low pressure hose, trying to keep about a foot away and just using the fan to rinse off. Then we'll dry it with air. After we've applied each product through the tube, we will rinse this tube out in clean water and then just dry it with a microfiber towel to avoid or minimise cross-contamination. Apart from that, I think we're good to go. So if we set this up, it's harder to do this than you think. You've got to be more organised, and if I get interrupted, I'm in trouble. We've got a torch on here, and hopefully that torch will keep going. I'm just looking where I'm going to go on the window, making sure the shot's good. So I'm probably going to go there, 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 and there. Yeah. So let's go on first of all with the Phat Neut. And this was shaken rigorously beforehand, and I'll shake it again just to be sure. I want to see, I'm interested to observe that wetting out as well. So this is properly dispersed in here. So here we go. Let's put this on to that circle. We've got enough room there, so we could probably go there, I think is going to be ideal. So let's go in. We're going to do, well, let's just do a little test run. Oh no, let's just see how many sprays we think we need. I've done a little test run. I think 4 sprays will give us a good wetting. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. There we go. Okay, now I'm rinsing this tube out in the water. So that's rinsed. Just want to do a time check. So that's roughly 5 minutes. So I'm going to just dry this off now, which I can do on camera shot. Get all that water out. So the inside of that's dry for the next use. Yeah, nice and dry. All right, let's put that down there. Okay. Now really nothing's going to happen for another 10 minutes, so there's no point in just running the camera for 10 minutes. I'm just going to drain the battery. We're not going to learn anything. We've captured the wetting out. It's zoop, and it's going down the panel. So now I'm going to wait. Maybe I could put it on time lapse. Or just let it dry. Let's have a look at it. So 4 sprays per panel. I need to make a note of that. Tight. 4 sprays. Okay, this is the boring bit. This is the boring bit. I should really keep the camera rolling. You can just skip this bit. I want to avoid that because it's been finger swiped, so I'll do the circle down there, and I'll do another one there, and I'll do another one there probably, maybe up just there, I think, just to avoid any little, it wouldn't make too much difference, but it's just want a clean area really. So it won't be a perfect straight line, because I think it's just best to avoid these bits of low dirt. You want that a nice film, don't you? This is glass as well. Paintwork would have been better. We may go again on paintwork. We'll see how this goes. It's just finding a car with a consistent film. As soon as I saw this glass, I thought that's going to be great for testing on, and it is. Yeah, and it's still part of a car, so it's still testing how they clean on cars, so it's good. Right, and my phone is ringing, even though I've got Do Not Disturb on. So we might as well just leave this, and I'll come back. Okay. Okay, guys, I am back. Phat Neut looks like it's dried. It's been nearly 10 minutes. As long as it's dry, I guess then dry on mode is enabled. I don't know, if there's any benefit to leaving it for half an hour or anything, but it's dry now. So interesting. Let's apply these other products. So what we'll do is we'll apply the other ones first. It will give them a bit more dwell time let's go with standard snow foam. So let's give it a good shake, and we will go right here. Okay, can you see all this? Let's just make sure you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, pull. There we go. Right, let's rinse this off. Put that there so I don't forget which one's which. Rinse that out. So I'm just rinsing the doodah off and drying it. Drying the insides. That chemical, the same, so we've done 4 squirts, and it hasn't run as much, and like wet out quite as well, but it is wetting the surface out. Not sure if we'll see a radical difference Well, we'll have a look. So then we get the next one. So we're ready to go. This is standard rinseless. Shake this. And we're going to go here because there's a nice little spot there. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Right, put that down there. Rinse this out. Dry it off. Get the water out of it. That hasn't wetted out as well as the snow foam, which is interesting. A few little dry spots with it. Anyway, let's move on. So this is the caustic pre-wash. Let's give that a good rinse shake up. Right, let's go in right in the middle, I reckon, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. No dry spots with that particular product. Let's rinse that out. And dry that off. And then back on with the Phat Neut. So on, let's get it a bit closer to that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and off. It does seem to spread a bit more, doesn't it? Interested in that wetting thing. But that mild snow foam on the right also wetted out very well. So now we really want to be about 3 minutes, I would guess, or 4. We just don't want any of these chemicals to dry before our rinse down. Well, apart from this one. So that we wanted to dry. So that's still engaging dry on. So it's unusual to let a chemical dry and not have any problem. Interestingly, there's no like residues after it's dried. No kind of white film or anything like that. Yeah, it definitely seems to wet out a bit better. A little bit better, yeah. I mean, not like I say, that was really good as well. These two not so good at wetting. So we just definitely don't want it these other products, these other 4, to dry. It's not particularly hot in here. That chemical there, I think, is starting to dry now. So I think we want to rinse that, or else the film will re-solidify. So we're going to do, I think we're going to do our rinse now. Let's go. So let's just test that. So let's say, well, let's say about there, yeah, and we'll just rinse all of these off. That's starting to dry, and that is starting to dry on the lower one. So we've got to do this now. We'll go down and up, down and up, down and up. I'm going to come round, down and up, down and up. I can see something already that has really surprised me. So let's just bring this camera off of this thing. Look at this. So I can see, before this is even dried, the dry on mode. So it's the same chemical here. That dry on mode, I can tell already, is cleaned a lot more than the Phat Neut in wet mode, so it might have needed more dwell time. That's really cleaned. That's interesting. That's interesting. In the middle, there's some cleaning on the wet mode. In the middle, there's no real cleaning apart from where the contact was. The middle was the caustic one. There's no real cleaning on the other rinseless with the rinse I've done. I'll need to dry this off. And where was this other one? Struggling to see it. It was a bit higher, wasn't it? Well, I can't even tell. So I can't even see cleaning, any cleaning on that other one. I think it was there. You know, wherever it was, I can't see any evidence of any cleaning with the pH neutral. Can't see any evidence of any cleaning with the normal rinseless. I can't see any evidence of any cleaning with the caustic alkaline. I can see some small evidence of cleaning with Phat Neut, but it hasn't cleaned that film off with the wet. But that is cleaned. That's really surprising me. So the dry on mode, the dry on mode's made a massive difference. Now, let me just, I didn't think there'd be that much difference because drying normally means that film's getting tough again. You know what I mean? And you don't want that. So how is that cleaned more with dry on mode? Let's dry this off so we can see what's going on with the window, you know. This is really interesting. This is a good test, this is. Coming back off camera again. Right, so over here, I can't even tell where I put the pH neutral product. I cannot tell. I think it was up here somewhere. It has done, there's no circle. I can't see it doing anything. The other one, I can see the pressure circle just where I applied it. The other rinseless, so that pH neutral thing has done nothing. The other rinseless, you can see where it was applied. It has done nothing to that dirt film. The caustic one, you can see now it's dry. There's a tiny bit of cleaning. You can see that glass is where the circle is. It's a little bit darker, but hardly any. Hardly any. The Phat Neut wet hasn't cleaned the glass, but you can see something's going on with that. If you come back a little bit, you can see that it's cleaned some of that dirt film off. There's the caustic. But look at the difference. Look at that difference. Let's get the light in the middle of the two there, so it's fair. That's cleaned more than a caustic pre-wash with less dwell time, I think. These two, I would say, have done virtually nothing. But look at this. Over here, the cleaning power of it when it's allowed to dry on this really bonded, unprotected glass. Look at that. That is the surprise takeaway for me. That level of cleaning is impressive. And it means that dry on technology, it's not all just like, you know, it's not all just like hypage and, you know, some technology. It actually seems to make a difference. How has it done that? How has it done that? So very interesting results, but in a layman's thing, and you can see what I've done. This pH neutral product has cleaned more than even a caustic alkaline, which is really interesting, and the other two that have done virtually nothing. Pretty impressive, isn't it? There's one thing with these Bilt Hamber products, they're known to be powerful, you know, without using caustic material, but I have never seen pH neutral outperform caustic like that before. Very impressive. Yeah, very impressive. Holy cow.